Control 52-14 over the Dragons. Ray Bentley along with Brian Baldinger, Barcelona, Spain, where the Rhein Fire have run off 35 unanswered points. They control this one 52-14. First and 10 for the Fire. Taman Nakamura. His first carry of the ball game is a big one. He had his first 3 carries of the year last week. He gained 12 yards and he busted that one out.
Yeah, Taman Nakamura is a national player from Japan. He's a coach in the off-season at his university, Ritsumeikan University in Japan, and he comes over here, he loves it. He said, you know, when you grow up in Japan, you start playing one sport and you don't play any others. You leave football and you go to play some tennis, it's disrespectful to football. They put a football in his hands when he was just a young kid, and he stayed with it, and he loves it.
They call him Tamaguchi. Tamaguchi ran for 16 on that carry.
Pretty good burst from Tamaguchi.
First and 10. Tamaguchi again. Rhein Fire gets him down, but Tamaguchi gets 7 more.
Hey, hold on!
And the flag is down on the field.
Hey, come on, hey!
Now the Gooch runs again behind the right guard. Mike Halpin again opened up a nice hole. This nice little counter step, coming back and tucking away. Looks a little bit like a bowling ball, kind of low to the ground and a little bit round.
Number 99 defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Personal foul on Barry Mitchell.
Receiver than a speed receiver. And get back to the NFL, former Detroit Lion.
Nakamura, his 3rd straight carry, his 3rd straight big gain, all the way up to the 30-yard line.
We talked about at the outset how Derek Clark and Kenny Bynum has been a great 1-2 duo. Taman Nakamura looking pretty good, like he could fit in with that group.
3 carries for 39 yards for Tamaguchi. He may win a Baldy before this is over.
Well, you know, a Baldy is those awards, Ray, that goes out to the player that has distinguished themselves the best at their position all year.
We'll have our offensive Baldies here in a moment as Nakamura takes it up the middle again. Here are the skill positions for this year's Baldies.
Well, skill position meaning, well, I really kind of think the offensive line is the skilled position, but we saw quite a few of them here tonight in Finneran and Bynum and Phillips, but you know, a big decision was at quarterback. I chose Tua, DeLone, the leading percentage passer in this league, and then Damian Craig, who's had some phenomenal evenings in this league this year, the 611-yard performance against Frankfurt. You know, and a lot of good receivers right there.
Nakamura again, and he'll get another first down. Kadar Hamilton makes the tackle.
Well, here's the rest of the skilled guys, Ray, and I always think that anybody that has to put a hand down on the ground and get into a 3-point stance deserves to be called skilled. And we talked a lot about Heimbach here this evening and Halpin. The left tackle for the Rhein Fire as well, Jeremy Akers, the best run-blocking offensive line in this league. And rounded out with Brad Kubik, a good pulling guard from the Chiefs playing for Amsterdam.
Well, what are you doing? What are you doing? You got a kicker on there.
Yeah, that you don't talk about them, right? You know, somebody else, the kicking family has to read them themselves.
Okay.
And I think, Ray, that team that we just put up there, you know, with those skilled players and the level of talent there, that I think that they can move the football in the National Football League. You could go against some of the weaker teams and you could move the ball and score points.
Well, you'll see many of those names in NFL camps coming up and on NFL teams this season, not all together, but spread throughout the league.
You'll see behind them for sure in San Diego.
Play action. Caught down, another touchdown for Anthony McKinney, his 2nd on the night. Mike Cherry to Anthony McKinney.
You never get tired of catching touchdown passes or throwing them. It's been a while for Mike Cherry, and Jack is, why, fellas? Why you want to do this to us?
I'll tell you why. It's the point differential that'll be a tiebreaker in this playoff system.
He wanted to talk about it and say, no, I don't like getting hurt. But then he said, I am looking forward to carrying the ball a few times. And there goes Tomoe Nakamura. Bynum finally is done for the night, and Nakamura from Osaka, Japan, is another national player. And he is the man who has taken over for Bynum as we hit the 2-minute warning.
That's the 2-minute warning.
Finally turned out to be a lovely evening in Berlin, except for the thunder.
I was going to say, it might depend on who it is you're talking about. It looked like we were going to have a downpour here. It did rain early and turned out to be a nice evening.
Only a downpour on the scoreboard for the Rhein Fire. Arianis. Nakamura. Well, Galen Hall told us last night that Nakamura, one of those national players, is a guy who is still trying to master the fine points of the game. And Galen said, yeah, we think he's kind of got that inside zone running play down.
Well, we said that Bynum wasn't going to come off the field unless he was hurt. That shows you what we know. They got Nakamura in the ball game here. They're trying to protect Bynum in case Clark isn't able to come back and play in future weeks.
3rd and 1. Nakamura's got him a first down.
And I think I've always felt that the sign of a good football team, a good running football team, is when you get in these situations late in ball games when everybody knows that you're going to try to run the football and try to run out the clock and chew up yardage, when you're still able to run the ball and do just that. They get in behind this big offensive line, 3rd and short. Berlin clearly knows that they're going to try to run the football, and yet they're unable to do anything about it and stop them.
Well, Nakamura was having fun. Chandler, the Berlin coach, thinking about next week. Coming up tomorrow, Troy Aikman will hustle down to Barcelona to join the bunch for the Barcelona-Scotland game, and that's a very big game in the World Bowl chase standings, with Barcelona first and the Scottish Claymores needing a win to keep pace with Frankfurt. Scotland at Barcelona tomorrow at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on Fox. So the clock winds down, and this man, Troy, really had a nice night for himself.
Well, he really did. He played exceptionally well, 17 of 31, which is a little bit higher percentage than what he's accustomed to over the season. Yet the big thing is right here, the 251 yards of passing. That just shows you that they were able to get some big plays down the field, and there's the man right there, Diallo Burks, who came down with most of those. 8 catches for 142 yards, 2 of which coming on touchdowns. They had a big night. And then the other workhorse for the team was Kenny Bynum, and his numbers, although he did get 100 yards, may not have been all that impressive considering the number of times that he carried the football. Still, nonetheless, it was him that was able to set up some of those big plays in the passing game. As you can see, he's got 32 rushes for 113 yards. And a real joy in talking with him last night. Happy for him getting the opportunity to play. We hope Derek Clark comes back here real soon. But in the meantime, I think that the Rhein Fire running attack is in good hands with Kenny Bynum.
They set off the fireworks regardless, but the celebration is all for the Rhein Fire tonight at Jan Stadion.